What's going on, dudes? It is David here. We're back with another video. Now, in this video, guys, we shall be discussing the Atlanta Falcons. Now, when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons, what we'll be discussing today is basically simple to the point what the Falcons really need to do in terms of like what they need to look for in terms of free agency and when it comes to the draft. Because let's just say this: the Atlanta Falcons in the past couple years, they've gotten a couple good free agents. Obviously, Jesse Bates has turned around the team. We got Justin Simmons, who's going to be a free agent. And I think we should, if we can possibly get Justin Simmons back on a 1 to 2 year deal, I would definitely do that because he definitely made a difference. And the safety room, if we were to keep Justin Simmons with Jesse Bates, would be absolutely fine and perfect. And then that leads us one area to really address, and that's the area that we've been lacking over the past couple of years. And if you guys do not know a position, that is the pass rush, that is the edge rushers. We need to go out there, whether it's through free agency, whether it's through the draft, we need to get a pass rusher that can go out there and attack the quarterback. Because in the last couple of years, the worst thing that the Falcons have been in the NFL, in the last couple of games, we were getting better, but that's because most of the teams were not really even trying. The one thing that we need to do is go out and attack the quarterback. Like I said, the last couple of years, the Falcons have been in the NFL. We've been bottom tier in terms of pressure against the quarterback. And I look at somebody like Jared Verse. I'm going to keep mentioning this. You saw what the Rams did against the Vikings just recently in the playoffs. We could have had somebody like that attacking quarterbacks. And the more guys who are attacking the quarterback, the less time that they're going to have to throw the ball. And they're either going to have to throw the ball, which could lead to interception by Jesse Bates, Justin Simmons, AJ Terrell, or another cornerback. And that's just going to be helping out a lot better. But something that we also need to address when it comes to the Falcons for this offseason is going to be getting a cornerback number 2. We just paid AJ Terrell his money before the season. Now we need to go out there and get a secondary cornerback. Because if we can go out there and get a secondary cornerback, that means AJ Terrell, yes, he's going to be the one that gets looked at. And, he's going to be the one that gets, double up. Or he's going to be the one that's mainly, looking at the guys. But then we have that sneaky cornerback that we can put on somebody like, let's say, a DK Metcalf or something like that, and that can actually guard him. And considering he's going to be young, he's going to have legs, he's going to be quicker, he's going to be able to keep up with most of these wide receivers. We could put AJ Terrell on Justin Jefferson and then have a backup the second cornerback on Jordan Addison. That way Jordan Addison doesn't have a day like he did a couple weeks ago against the Atlanta Falcons. That's another thing we really need to address. But the number one thing that the Falcons need to address when it comes to this offseason is Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins cannot stay as the backup, and we're paying him this much amount of money. We pay Kirk Cousins to be the starter. We paid Kirk Cousins to lead us to the playoffs. And Kirk Cousins, for the beginning part of the season, he was doing very, very well, but then he dropped off a cliff. And now the Falcons need to come look at their decision that they decided to make. They decided to pay Kirk Cousins knowing he has injury history, knowing he's an old quarterback, $140 million with $90 million guaranteed. And now that they're talking about putting him on the bench and having him be the backup and being that much of a paid backup, hell no. I would much rather try and trade Kirk Cousins no matter how difficult it's going to be post June 1 because that saves us more amount of debt money in terms of cap space. But I look at the NFC South. The Carolina Panthers are a team with the most amount of money in cap space, and they have $21 million in cap space. The Atlanta Falcons would have a ton of money in cap space if they hadn't paid Kirk Cousins. And considering that there's going to be a good amount of decent free agent guys this year, I'm not sure how much the Falcons are going to be able to go after because, like I said, if you want to be able to get the best guys, especially on the defensive side, you're going to have cap space and you're going to have the money to pay. We decided to give most of that money to, yes, AJ Terrell, but we also decided to get that money to Kirk Cousins. Imagine if we had saved some of that money we gave Kirk Cousins to now free agency to go out and get one of the best defensive players, one of the best defensive pass rushers, one of the best DTs in free agency. Because even Grady Jarrett, I love Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett's my guy, but even then, he's starting to get old, and he's not going to get any younger. And we're going to need another DT that can possibly take over for Grady Jarrett once we possibly move him on or he does retire. So these are a lot of things that all the Falcons really need to discuss. But definitely the top 3 things that the Falcons need to address when it comes to this free agency is 1, getting a pass rusher to rush the quarterback. 2, getting a secondary cornerback, so we have someone opposite of AJ Terrell, and then 3, dealing with Kirk Cousins. So I want to know your guys' opinions down in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys all next time. Peace.